day is another blank canvas.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Faithfully Creations video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your own custom bubble envelope or padded envelope for shipping dimensional cards or small packages, you know, racks or whatever the case may be. It's really simple, and I like the flexibility of making my own so much that I doubt I'll ever resort to store-bought envelopes again unless I'm mailing something that is just way bigger than I have paper for. So for this tutorial, you really only need the 5 things you see here: adhesive, a bone folder, some bubble wrap, a sheet of paper, and a scoring tool. And I'm using the Martha Stewart scoreboard. My paper that I'm using is 8.5 by 11. However, you can use whatever size paper you want, determined by the needs of whatever it is that you're mailing, and the dimensions are all going to be the same no matter what size paper you use. So the first thing that you're going to do is score on the 11-inch side at 1/2 inch. Guess it would help if I scored straight, huh? Scoring, honestly, is not my forte. Alright, so scored on the 1/2 inch side. You're going to fold that up and score at the halfway point. And in this case, because we're using 8.5 by 11, the halfway point is 5 1/4. Now you could move on to the bubble part now if you want to, but what I like to do, just to give my envelope a little added zing and help me position my bubble wrap, is I like to score from a 1/2 inch down every 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to score at 1/2. You're going to score at 3/8. See, I told you I can't score straight. You're going to score at 1/4. And you're going to score at 1/8. Okay? And don't worry if it's not perfect. Mine certainly isn't, but it works just fine. And then flip it around and do the same thing. 1/2. Three-eighths. 1/4. 1/8. Hey, look, this side I did perfectly. Awesome! Alright, so once you've got that done, you can go ahead and toss your scoreboard to the side because you're done with that. You're going to fold up your 1/2 inch that you scored on the long side and then stick it down. And the tape that I'm using is a cheap knockoff for score tape, and I actually really like it. This particular size is slightly smaller than the 1/4 inch score tape. This is .20 instead of .25, and it's $1 for 66 feet. And I'll put a link in the description as to where I get it from, because I can't for the life of me remember right now. Alright, so you're going to seal that 1/4 inch up, or that 1/2 inch fold up. Okay? Then what you want to do is you want to put your adhesive from one edge of the paper to your first score line, all the way across. And you want to get this first piece as close to the edge as you can. And I like to put the second piece right on the seam. And then you're going to do this all the way across. You could use your ATG. I have done it the first couple times I did it with ATG tape. But instead of just doing one pass of my gun, I did 2 or 3 to make sure that it was a good thick layer of tape. And with this new tape I'm using, the cheapy score tape, or version of score tape, I can be pretty generous with the tape because, like I said, it's like $1 a roll. So, you know, it's pretty cheap. Oops, I went over. It's really important that you don't go over because then you'll end up sealing your envelope before you can stuff it. And then on this end, again, you want to make sure that you get as close to that edge as you humanly can. Alright. Then just give everything a good burnishing to make sure your tape is nice and stuck on there. And peel all the liners off. Now, for your bubble wrap, what I like to do is make sure it's smaller in width and equal to the page size. Okay? Come on. And see, this is actually a little too wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off, maybe if my scissors will cut, a little bit this way. And a little bit this way. Doesn't matter if you cut perfectly straight or any of that. Then what you're going to want to do, I'm going to turn it this way, is just stick it down. Do your best to stick it straight, and you want to make sure that the smooth side is against your tape. Okay? Sorry, I know that's a terrible noise. Then, you see, I still have a little bit here on the edge that I need to trim off. So it's not sticking out of my envelope. Alright, so then you should have something that looks like this. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to fold it in half and seal it down. Don't worry if it pops, you know, 1 or 2 pops. That's not that big of a deal. Ha ha ha. And silly me covered the taped edge on that side. So I actually have to run some more score tape along my bubbles. so that the side will seal. Fortunately, I've done this enough times. I know exactly what I should have done or how to fix it if I screwed up. I screwed up a lot before I felt comfortable making a video. Alright. And you're just going to stick that side down. Burnish it really well. There you go. Now at this point, your envelope is done, and you could just handwrite your address on there. But I tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist, and I like being able to write on the lines. So I have this little dot stamp, and I'm just going to stamp my address lines and my return address lines. There you go. That's how you can make your own custom padded envelope. You can use using cardstock, and you can make it,